the Western Ghats. Western Ghats are parallel to the west coast. In the figure it is shown, dear students. When it is asked in the map pointing to point out Western Ghats, you should draw how it is given here instead. In this way you have to draw. Can you see any gap in these Western Ghats? No. Right? It means that these are a continuous series of Ghats. They are continuous. Okay. And these are higher than the Eastern Ghats. This one higher than the Eastern Ghats. Okay, the height of the Western Ghats is greater to the Eastern Ghats. Okay, then we see a slope from west to east at the Deccan Plateau. Understand? What do we see? A slope from west to east. Understand? So these Western Ghats extended 1600 kilometers from Gujarat to the Kanyakumari. From where? Gujarat to Kanyakumari, 1600 kilometers length it is. These Western Ghats join Nilagiri Hills. Which one? Nilagiri Hills at Gudalur. You may get one objective question. Where does Western Ghats join Nilagiri Hills? It is at Gudalur. They join Nilagiris instead. So here in Nilagiris, a famous hill station is there. That is Ooty or Udagamandalam. What that? Udagamandalam or Ooty. It is the famous hill station in Nilagiris. Okay. And there is an important peak in this Western Ghats, that is Dodabetta. Dodabetta is the highest peak in Western Ghats. It is the location of Ooty. Where is Ooty instead? Then these Western Ghats are joining the Nilagiris at Gudalur, and they are called with different names in different places. Right? Dear students, look at here. In Tamil Nadu, Western Ghats are called Palani Hills. Palani Hills instead. Then in Kerala, these are called Anamalai Hills. Western Ghats are called Anamalai Hills in Kerala. Okay. And in Anamalai Hills, there is a peak called Anaimudi. This one. This is the highest peak in southern India. Okay. No need to get confusion. The highest peak in southern India is Anaimudi, which is in Anamalai Hills. Highest peak in Western Ghats, that is Dodabetta. Which one? Dodabetta. Okay. And in Kerala, these Western Ghats are called Anamalai Hills and Cardamom Hills. Which hills? Cardamom Hills instead. These are the names for Western Ghats in different places. Instead, Nilagiri Hills, where Ooty is the famous hill station, which is also called Udagamandalam. Okay, this is the Anaimudi Peak. What is shown in the slide is Anaimudi Peak. It is the highest peak in southern India or South India. Okay, these are Annamalai Hills. In Annamalai Hills, Anaimudi Peak is there. Okay, then these are Palani Hills, which are in Tamil Nadu. Okay, the name given to the Western Ghats in Tamil Nadu is what to call Palani Hills. And these are Cardamom Hills in Kerala. Where do we call Western Ghats as Cardamom Hills in Kerala? Where it is? Kerala. Understand? In Kerala, these are called Cardamom Hills. Understand? Look at the location of the Cardamom Hills, which is in Kerala. Dear students, this is what Kerala, and this one Tamil Nadu. Okay, in Tamil Nadu, Palani Hills. In Kerala, it is called Annamalai Hills and Cardamom Hills. This is about the Western Ghats. Now coming to the Eastern Ghats. Eastern Ghats are situated to the east side. Okay, to the what to call east side. They start from Mahanandi, okay, to the what to call east side. They start from Mahanadi. Here it is there, Mahanadi. That is in Odisha, where the river Mahanadi flows here. So it starts at Mahanadi in the north and extends up to the Nilagiris at the south. Starts at Mahanadi at north and extends to the Nilagiris at the south. So where do we find these? At the east side. Where? East side. Understand? These are not higher than the Western Ghats. So that the rivers originating in the Western Ghats flow towards east. You may get a question that why does the river Godavari, Krishna flows towards east? Then what is the answer? The answer is the Deccan Plateau is tilted towards east. There is a slope towards east. Instead, many rivers originating at the Western Ghats, they cut the Deccan Plateau and joins what to call Bay of Bengal. Okay, look at here. I am showing River Godavari, River Krishna. Understand? In such a way, they originate at west, flows to the Deccan Plateau, joins Bay of Bengal. And these are not continuous series like Western Ghats. Western Ghats are extended from Gujarat to Nilagiris without gap. Those are continuous. These are not continuous series of hills. Here and there we find gaps in the eastern Ghats. Instead, look at here. You will find here the gap shown in this map. Understand? I'll show you that. Where is the gap? Understand? See, here we find Eastern Ghats and here too also. And in between these two, we find there is a gap. Okay, that is the reason we says these are not continuous. Okay, and look at that here river Godavari. Understand how it is flowing? Originates at the Western Ghats, flows through the Deccan Plateau, joins the Bay of Bengal. And river Krishna also originates in the Western Ghats and joins the water Bay of Bengal. Okay, so rivers originating in the Western Ghats flowing towards the east joins Bay of Bengal because of the plateau tilted towards east instead. So these are not a continuous series instead, right? And these Eastern Ghats height is 900 meters. How much? 900 meters height it is there. Understand? Which is lesser than the water Western Ghats. Understand? The highest peak in a what to call Eastern Ghats is Aramakonda. Which one? Aramakonda. I'll show you that. It is at Chintapalli in Vishakhapatnam. Okay, look at here. This is the average height of the uh, Eastern Ghats. Understand how thick forest it is. Okay, now look at here. This is the water highest peak Aroya Konda given, which is also called Aroma Konda, that is 1680 meters height, located at Chintapalli of Vishakhapatnam. In which district it is there? Vishakhapatnam it is there. In Vishakhapatnam there is a place called Chintapalli. There Aroya or Aroma Konda is there. That is the highest peak. So what is the highest peak in Eastern Ghats? It is Aramakonda. What is the highest peak in Western Ghats? Dodabetta. What is the highest peak in southern India? That is Anaimudi, which is in Anamalai Hills instead. And these Eastern Ghats are called with different names at different places. Okay, how Western Ghats are called Palani Hills at Tamil Nadu, Anamalai and Cardamom Hills in Kerala. In the same manner, these Eastern Ghats also have different names. Okay, what are the names to the Eastern Ghats? Those are Nallamalas, Velikondas, Palakondas, and Seshachalam hills. At Tirupati in Chittur, we find Eastern Ghats with the name of Seshachalam hills. Understand? This is the what names given to the Eastern Ghats. Okay, and one important feature of the peninsular plateau is it contains black soils, not black soils instead, which is suitable for what cultivation of cotton. Understand? Look at here. Where are these Nalamandas, Velikondas, Palakondas? Understand? Look at here. Here it is called Nallamalas. Understand? Velikondas, then Palakondas. Understand? So these are the what names for the Eastern Ghats. Understand? Now, what to call? This is about the Eastern Ghats. The next, moving to the Thar Desert. Okay, Thar Desert is also called the Great Indian Desert, which is shown here. Okay, look at here. This is Thar Desert. Where do we find it? Is at Rajasthan on the leeward side of Aravallis. Leeward side of Aravallis. Let me show that Aravallis here and drawing Aravallis instead. So the Thar Desert is located at a leeward side. Okay, what is the opposite side of the leeward? windward, which windward, understand? As Aravalli ranges are present here, they obstruct the moisture laden winds coming from the Indian Ocean. Look at here. Here, what are there? Aravalli Hills, Aravalli ranges. So moisture laden winds touches these Aravallis and raises up. Okay, as it rises up, becomes cool and gives rainfall in the interior part of the India. Okay, and dry winds pass over to the desert. That is the reason the desert is formed at leeward side of the Aravalli Hills. In ninth class, you have studied orographic rainfall. Which one? Orographic rainfall. Look at that. This is a hill. So when moisture laden winds are coming in this direction, they touches this mountain or hilly ranges and tries to cross this. Okay, to cross this, they raises, as it raises, becomes cool and gives rainfall at windward direction. And leeward side, you see that dry winds are passing. Okay, so windward side, we see the water rainfall, right? So how does the rain occur here? Rain occurred due to the mountains present in the direction of winds. As mountain obstructed the blowing winds and given rain at windward direction, it is called orographic rainfall. What we call orographic rainfall. So that is the reason here we see at the Thar Desert area. Understand? So at the leeward side of the Aravalli range, we find Thar Desert, and here the rainfall is very less. Understand? How much, you know? Here per year there is 100 to 150 millimeters of rainfall takes place. 100 to 150 millimeters of rainfall takes place. This desert consists of sand dunes. Which one? Sand dunes. And it occupies much of the western part of Rajasthan. Okay, here we see that streams takes place when there is a little rainfall and it disappears very soon. It disappears very soon. It is a desert covered with sand and sand dunes. Here we find only one river, that is Luni. Which one? Luni. It is a Luni river which flows through the what you call desert area. Okay, as the rainfall is very less, we find here very low vegetation, that is forest cover. There is no much forest cover. It is a plain sandy area. Understand? And to cultivate crops here, one canal is drawn from the Satluj river, which is a tributary of Indus, and that canal is called Indira Gandhi Canal. This is the longest canal in India. Okay, that is what you call drawn to the desert area. Understand? Which area? Desert area. Understand? Look at that. This is the what? Luni river. Understand? Which one? Luni river. How it is flowing. Okay, this Luni river we see in Rajasthan. Understand? And here it is the internal drainage river. Understand? It does not reach Arabian Sea, which Luni river. Look at here. It is flowing in a desert area and dries up in the desert only. It does not join the what? Arabian Sea. So that the Luni river is called internal. Okay, which river? Internal river. Understand? Which dries up inside the water desert area. Understand? So Luni is a water internal river. The climate at desert area is arid climate. Which climate? Arid climate. What do you mean by arid? Dry. Understand? Arid climate. Dry region where the rainfall is less and very little forest or vegetation we find in arid climate region. So Thar desert consists of what? Arid climate. The rainfall is scanty, that means very less, 100 to 150 meters, right? And here we find sand dunes. It is covered with sand. Okay, the only river in Thar desert is Luni river, which is the internal river. Understand? And the canal which is providing irrigation to the cultivation of the crops is Indira Gandhi Canal. This is the what about Thar desert. Which one? Thar desert.